want updates as to what's going on. Hello, Michael Knight. How the hell are you?
Well, we've been off the air for a couple of days, so we're back in the saddle, and I'm fine. It's a Friday. It's a Freaky Fractures Friday. It's a heat wave hitting California. I assume it's hitting you as well.
Not as badly as you're getting it, but yeah, it's definitely warmer than normal temperatures up here in the beautiful Northwest. And they say it is going to get hotter here over the weekend. So I'm, uh,
We have
I'm
85 degrees now. It's going to 97 later today.
well. I just
Yeah.
came out of that. Driving up I-5 from the Bay Area. It was hot. I mean,
Yeah.
there wasn't too many spots where it was under 90 degrees. During the day, just not. You just couldn't find. And that area is always hot. I mean, it's an area that's always warm this time of year. It's summer. Uh, it is. It is what it is.
The
But
Central Valley heat.
yeah, yeah, it really gets to you. I mean, when you come out of the car and you're just sweating the second you get out of the car. That doesn't make you want to get out of the car much. I mean, it
Just to
just
get a
seems to
burger.
be it just seems to be that's the thing. You just don't want to get out of the car. So anyway,
Well, and in general, how was your trip?
well, this is the trip. It was an absolutely spectacular trip, Michael. I mean, I started on Wednesday night. The trip didn't really start on Wednesday night, but the reunion fest started on Wednesday night with everybody from our old haunts together, KJR, and we had quite a turnout for that thing. Many people asking about you and how you're doing, and if everything's okay. And I think did we do a show Friday? I can't even remember. I don't think we did. Did we?
No,
No.
Wednesday.
Okay.
Wednesday last
So
was
yeah.
the
So
one.
this is the first time I'm talking to you since last Tuesday. We did a show. We had the reunion. I found out that many people that are our old buddies at KJR
Yeah.
still listen to us and still are in contact with the show. So I thought that was kind of neat. Saw a bunch of your favorites, Chris Levitt, uh, and Peggy Hagerman, and I'm trying to think of just off the top of my head who said hello off the top of my head. I mean, many people did. Keith Shipman was there, but just a lot of the people that we saw walking around the hallways, and because it was not only uh, um, I'm zoning on his name, Randy. Randy, the kid that worked for the Sonics, not kid, I mean, he's a grown man. The guy that worked for the Sonics as one of the floor people, one of the game ops people, he said to say hello. And so there was a good smattering of people that we actually liked. Janet, obviously, Janet Magleby was
Yes.
there. So we, yeah, we got to see a bunch of people and reminisced about the old times and just it was just a great night. You know, we had it at in the back room of one of these BJ's places, which isn't always my favorite place to have a dinner like that. But at least it wasn't, Michael, one of these things where you sat at a table and you couldn't get, like you sat in one spot and you
Yeah.
basically talked to the person next to you or the person on this
Right.
side of you, and that's it. We really got to, we got up and we're able to communicate with some people. So I really like that. Trying to think of who else. Um, Michelle Grossnick was there. It was good to see her. I hadn't seen her in a ton of years. Our old one of our old sales managers. They ran quite a few through that place. Um, Trying to think if there was many people on the side that we didn't like that showed up. And
Well, forget
no,
about that.
there was. Yeah, I don't think there was. I think the crew that showed up was a good crew. So anyway, we did that, and then on Thursday morning it was get into the Genesis GV80, which I'm going to tell you right now is just a spectacular road car. This is $91,000 worth of SUV, and
That's a lot.
yeah, it's a lot. But you know what? It's one of those cars where if you have the money and you want to buy a car that's going to be a sweet car on the road to drive, if you take a lot of trips over to Spokane or take a lot of trips down to Portland or wherever you go, or you're just on the road a lot, this is a vehicle that's going to give you, it's comfortable. The seats are really well done. They're supportive. They're massaging. Really nice car. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about the car, but I did want to talk about the road trip. So got in the car, got a little bit of a late start, um, and got to San Francisco for the Love Fest that was KUSF's reunion. Now KUSF, for people who might not know, is this little radio station that went on for many years in San Francisco. It was a non-commercial station, licensed to and run by the University of San Francisco, and it was just this great radio station. People who, um, uh, it was an alternative format, which really meant that you got to play a lot of music that no other radio stations played. Not because it wasn't good, but because it didn't fit into that corporate record company uh, profile that at that time in music people were trying to put out there. We were lucky.
If you don't like the record that you're listening to, you'll like the next one.
Yeah, and had a very diverse change in types of music at that station. So yeah, if you keep listening, you'll hear something you like, and if not, you like the DJ. One way you'll find something you like if you just sit there and listen to it for a while. So we all got together. There was a dinner on Friday night, which unfortunately I did not make. I got into town. I got to my sister's house. I took a shower and fell asleep on the bed. So, but next day, Saturday, we had an event at Bottom of the Hill, which is a club that's on at the bottom of Potrero Hill, aptly named the Bottom of the Hill. And they had a few bands that played there, but it wasn't about the bands. It was about seeing people that we just hadn't seen in so many years. And it was good to see my friend Laurie Gates, my friend Harry Levy, who I hadn't seen in many years. Just so many people who I broke my teeth in with these people in not just the radio business, but the music business. And it was such, there were always people that you could ask, always people if you didn't know something, they were happy. And really, it was a bunch of people who all didn't know that much anyway. So we all kind of explored what was going on together. And it was just a wonderful, wonderful experience to see these people and
Yeah.
talk with them to find out where they had been, how they had been doing. I was very happy to report that many of these people have been very, very successful in the music business and in the records business, and not so many in the radio business. There were people who were smart enough, and this was the thing that impressed me about KUSF. There were a number of people who were smart enough to stay away from radio, to get involved in music, to get
Yeah.
involved in um, artist
Tal-
development,
talent. Yeah.
talent, yes, to get involved not in the end product, but in the development of the product itself. And it was really good to see. I mean, I got a kid, well, he was a kid then, David Katz Nelson. And David came to KUSF um, literally as a teenager out of high school.
A record
And
freak.
he's now an executive at a record company. He's been responsible for signing quite a few acts to the label, to their label, and
What's the name of the company?
I think they're a division of Warner, and I can't remember. Mudhoney is one of the acts that they discovered and found out up in San Rafael. He lives up there, and they um, I was just so proud of him. You know, I take immense pride, Michael, in the people that I've worked with that have been successful because I always feel like I had a piece of that.
Yeah.
You know, I always feel like that they didn't dick around when they spent their time with us or me or you. That they paid attention to what we were trying to tell them, and I think the biggest indicator of that was the fact that not many of them got involved in the radio business because
It was the
uh,
weak link.
yeah, for my part, it was always. Uh, this is probably not the end of. I mean, you'll get some instant gratification of getting your dick rubbed because somebody tells you you're great every day, or calls you up on the phone and tells you you're great. But the reality is if you want to make money, if you want to make a mark in the world, you'll get into development, you'll get into sales, you'll get into putting on concerts. You'll get into some end of the business that hasn't much to do with the low end of the business, which is radio.
Yeah.
We do it because we love it. I mean, you and I both have a passion for this thing that really goes far beyond what I've seen from most people that are in it.
And we were lucky enough to have heard the greats.
Yeah,
They were operating AM and FM in full bore when we were in the industry.
yeah, yeah. When we were drawing a paycheck every week, we were lucky enough to have something that was saleable to their minds, but also we were lucky enough to get the gratification from just doing a bang up job of presenting these records, as they call them in England, presenters. Um, so it was really good to see. It was good to see my friend Laurie Gates, who was smart enough, and I consider her maybe to be the smartest of all, because she got out of the music business completely after a nice 10-year run and started teaching kids. And to me, it has always been the best profession you can have, where you're teaching kids, you're teaching young kids to do something with your life. Help people.
Where's she teaching?
Well, she just retired this year. She's teaching in. She was a teacher for 25 years in Denver,
Good market.
and just a woman who I love dearly, and I love her just because she's Laurie Gates, but I also love her because she just has this mission in life of helping people and um, being friends with people. She's one of those people that will do anything to stay friends with somebody. You know, like she's not a she's if there's a fair weather friend, you go to the exact opposite of the spectrum, and that's Lori. Anyway, it was good to see her. It was good to see Linda Ryan, who was the music director at the station when I started DJing there, and really um, got became a name in the business among music directors. Um, Good to see Carla Diamond, who worked for a number of years for MTV and navigated that corporate. She put together 60, what was it, 120 seconds or 120
Hmm.
minutes, whatever their MTV news show was. That was her baby, and she put that together. So it was great to see her. So and it was great to see Harry Levy, who had a great career at Capitol Records and was was the guy that first put me on the air at KUSF, who decided, hey, you know what, you want to do the I-beam shift? We can't get anybody else. All right, you're in. Hey, you get there like you get there, you
It's
know?
true. That's so true.
You get there how you get there. And it was just, we went to this place that was down, I don't know when the last time you were back in San Francisco was, but
I don't think I know either.
yeah, the Mission
That's been
Bay.
7 years ago.
Yeah, well, it's probably changed since then, but the area around the ballpark, the area that used to be the junkyards and the scrap yards on Third Street, going south from the Lefty O'Doul Bridge, um, is it's just all built up. It's all from the Chase Center, south. It's just it's an entertainment district. They have this thing there um, that they call them social spaces. And what they do is they park a bunch of food trucks in a lot, and then they put up some tents and stuff, and they rent out the tents, and you go to the food trucks, and you
You
hang out
eat,
and socialize.
eat and party.
Yeah, eat and party. And we went to one of those, so we had this huge tent, and all of the KUSF people came through. We got to see some other people, got to talk about people that weren't there, and also got to remember people that couldn't be there because they're dead, um, which makes it impossible for them to be there. And
For the most part.
yeah, for the most part, I mean, I'm sure there's a couple that would probably try to do it. But it was fun to talk to these people. It was fun to see what they had accomplished. It was fun to talk, catch up with people. And it was fun to just see that we had been such a successful group of people. I mean, most people that worked at that radio station got meaningful jobs in radio, in music, uh, that made a difference. It really made a difference, not only in their lives, which of course they did, but in other people's lives, and how those people helped other people. Which, as you know as well as I do, is not the norm in this business. You
No, you
know,
can't rely on that, unfortunately.
yeah, a lot of business you can rely on, your frat brothers to help you out or something like. But this business is not like that. It's a total twist in direction from what.
It's nice to see a lot of people with a KUSF on their resume took what they learned there and took the gift that working in that environment provided for them and used it well.
Yeah, yeah, yes, yeah. That was the I think the most important lesson of the whole weekend is that the people that were at this place in this time didn't waste what they had learned there. It was great to talk. There's a guy that I wasn't great friends with when we were at KUSF together, but I knew him. I would talk to him. He was a car fan, and obviously we had stuff to talk about. But he's had a almost 25 or 28-year career at Saturday Night Live
Really?
as the musical director. Um, Now, he's not the musical director in the sense that he runs the band, but he is the musical director in the sense that he searches out and finds either pieces of music to use or gets clearances or does all of the grunt work in the music that you hear on Saturday Night Live. Marty Bromback. I hadn't seen Marty in years, and we sat down and sat next to each other and started talking. We spent an hour together just talking about stuff, and I just think it really did my head a lot of good to go and to meet up with people and to see people and to see to have the feeling that we were successful at something. Well, maybe everybody didn't walk out of there with a college degree or this or that or the other thing, but we were successful in what it counted, in where it counted, and that was in life and in being able to help other people that we shared that space and time with, and that and that we learned how to do it right.
Was
You
Marty a
know,
New Yorker?
excuse me.
Was Marty a New Yorker before
No,
he
a
went there?
Bay Area kid. Actually, you know what? I think he's an LA kid who came up to go to school at
Yeah.
USF, but now has been a New Yorker, for 30 years. Because I think he worked for a record company in New York before that. So it was a really good experience. I was really glad that I went, and then I got a visit in with my sister, not as long as I wanted to, and got to drive back with do a little road trip with my daughter and my ex-wife Judy, and it was really neat to spend time with them. It was just really uh, it was just nice to be able to to have that time. It was funny at a few points. It felt like it was a family vacation. It was the family vacation that we never took.
Right.
But it was really nice. I mean, we really had a good time talking to each other and laughing and talking about stuff that had happened. We had a get together the final night, Sunday night. We had a get together at the Glen Park Tavern, which is a place that's obviously in Glen Park. But there was a book reading of Howie Klein's upcoming book. A woman named Denise Sullivan, who worked at KUSF.
Hmm.
Uh, you may know the name. I think she was around. Oh, I know who else was on the tip of my tongue. David Basson said to
Great.
say
Yeah.
hello to you. Of course,
Great.
you and he worked together at KTIM.
We certainly did.
Yes, what a great guy. Well,
Yeah.
just what a really
Really
stand
devoted to
up.
the music.
Yeah, yeah, really. I mean, he just still does a show on KXSF, which is what KUSF kind of morphed into after the university sold the station. And yes, he said to say hello and asked how you were doing, how the family was, and everything. So he was really,
And KXFF is online only, or does it have a signal?
just online. You got to search it out. Um, it's a bunch of old of ex KUSF DJs mixed in with community members. I know for a while, and I forgot to ask. I know that Danny Carlisle had been doing a show on there
Yes.
for a while, and he had been spinning a wax there, and um, I was sorry I didn't get to see Danny. I would have really have liked to see him.
Yeah.
They did a thing where they had some KUSF DJs um, go in and spin some, do an hour. I just I couldn't do it. I just I had to spend some time with my sister,
Yeah.
so I let that one go. So I didn't get a chance to go down. But the good thing about KXSF is they seem to be short of DJs. So in talking to um, David Katz Nelson, who also has a show. I think I'm probably going to wind up, and I'll encourage you to do the same. Get the information and send in, if you have the ability to do it, an hour show every couple of weeks. I think it'd be nice to either we do it together or somehow do this. Um,
Good idea.
yeah, it'd just be a kind of a. I think it'd be kind of a cool
I'm not
thing
certain
for
I
us.
have all the equipment I need, but
Well,
we'll figure it out.
there's always a way to borrow it, right? Or see if there's some certain way. But it was really it was just a great. I mean, I remember leaving on. I didn't leave until Tuesday afternoon, and because we had to wait for the Moody Blues. No, uh, I just remember leaving thinking that this was really there. This was an absolutely no regrets weekend.
Great.
Nothing I did. I didn't regret going anywhere. I got to see Lorraine, have lunch with Lorraine, our friend Lorraine Meyer. Got to see her uh, um, until I got to Roseburg, Oregon.
That was your mistake. I told you to stay out of that town, but you wouldn't listen to me.
I just should have kept on freaking going. I mean, I really, sometimes I don't listen to my own mind. And many times that's a good thing.
Now, what can go wrong in Roseburg, Oregon? You ask. What could
Well,
possibly go wrong?
I'm gonna tell you what could go wrong in Roseburg, Oregon. You didn't think anything could go wrong in Roseburg, Oregon, but
It's,
I am here to
it
tell you.
used to be a nice little town, River Town.
Well, it may be still a
Yeah, it's
nice little
really
town,
nice.
but the God's little acre that I spent the evening in
Really nice little town.
was not.
Trouble
It
right
was
here in Roseburg, Oregon.
yeah, yeah. It was something. We pull up to Roseburg, and it's about 11 o'clock at night. We stopped at a. We were trying to do, what would you call it? We were trying to do uh, a television advertisement trip, where every place that we stopped to eat, we've stopped at the off the road places, the out of the way places all the time. This time we were saying, you know what? Let's have some fun. Let's hit the Red Lobster. Let's hit the Dutch Brothers coffee. Let's not look for the small. Let's go with the America version of this trip. So we went to Dutch Brothers coffee. It was great. We had dinner at Red Lobster. Ate all the cheddar biscuits that one human could consume. Um, and so we started to get tired around Medford, which is
Like you do.
well, like you do. I mean, if you're making that trip, Medford is the first place where you kind of if it's really the point of decision. Am I going to go all the way through and just power on through and get to Seattle, or am I going to say, oh man, I'm done. Park the car, gonna find a place. And we got to Medford and say, okay, we're gonna go another hour and change, and then that's it. We get to Roseburg.
The
Now I always
faithful,
like stopping
faithful
at
town of
Roseburg.
Oregon.
Yeah, it's in the middle of Oregon. It's as you said, a river town. I have a good friend that lives there, a guy that I worked with at Cairo, who's lived there for years and years and years. I think he's even like on the town council or something like that. And I said, well, let's go, let's make it to Roseburg. Um, and we did. Got to Roseburg, and we said we would find a place to rest our weary eyes, our weary bones. So we get to we're driving up I-5. My beautiful daughter is looking at the various accommodations, and she comes up with she says, Dad, don't you always tell me stories about Howard Johnson's?
There are many stories to tell.
And of course, I say to her, yes. I always talk about Howard Johnson's. Howard Johnson's is a place that we used to go to um, in Lake George, New York. There used to be as a matter of fact, the last Howard Johnson's was there, so we used to stop there many times. They're in a place called Scotty's Motel. Scotty's is a privately owned motel owned by a Spolpakian family who emigrated over here years ago, the Skotplitskys. They've had the place for years. I still have fond memories of pulling into that place with my dad commanding his '59 white Cadillac, a two-door that was bigger than a four-door, into the place and saying, "Hey, you gotta get a room, blah blah blah." And then when Scotty's didn't have a room for some reason, we go to Howard Johnson's. Now, my father, and I'm gonna take a little time with this story. My father didn't like Howard Johnson's. My father, for some strange reason,
Didn't like the ice cream or the food or something.
no, he liked the ice cream. He liked the food. He liked the clam strips. They have these. They used to serve these clam strips in a cup with French fries. But for some strange reason, my father would always get into an argument or a fight, and I mean a literal fight, with somebody when he would go into Howard Johnson's.
Just the luck of the draw.
Just luck of the draw. And it happened almost every time that we went to Howard Johnson's. There used to be Howard Johnson's on Queens Boulevard and the Long Island Expressway, and my
Trouble.
mother loved Howard Johnson's ice cream, 28 flavors, and they put it in that weird scoop that was almost square. Not quite as square as the Thrifty Drugs ice cream scoop, but anyway, so he was hellbound on having to go there when my mother was in the car because she wanted this ice cream, strawberry.
He knew better, but he would go anyway for the ice cream.
Right, and always, I don't think I ever seen a time where he came out of that restaurant and wasn't cursing up a storm, had ice cream on his shirt. There was just, or shaking his knuckles because he had popped somebody. And again, it was a different time, folks.
Yeah.
Okay, the 50s and 60s was a different world in which we live in today. Men
That's true.
generally, when you mouth it off, didn't say, "I'm going to put you on social media and stand there and take a picture of you." They popped you in the face. And that was it. Bars,
Somebody get popped in Roseburg.
So, anyway, but I have never really told my daughter that part of the story. Some of it. Anyway, so she says, "Hey, there's a Howard Johnson's in Roseburg. You're gonna love this place. Dad, it'll remind you of Grandpa. It'll remind you of this, that, yeah." And I didn't have the heart to say to her, "No, let's not go there." I said, "All right, let's go."
The curse of Joe Berchichi is visited upon his son Vincent.
Right, figuring what the hell could go wrong. It's a motel. We're pulling in there at 11 o'clock at night. The place is half closed. It's just going to be, it's going to be in, lie down on the bed, go to sleep, get up at whatever time it is in the morning, get back in the car, and keep on your trip.
Sayonara.
I don't even have to eat, have the coffee. I don't want anything from this Howard Johnson's except the place to close my eyes for 7 hours.
Not too much to ask.
They had a little advertise had on that thing, free continental breakfast. Was no problem. Thought it was great. So I said, all right, I'll reload the little ice cooler that I have and get a couple of Pepsis, head up the road to go to to go to sit down, go to an Elmer's or something like that and have breakfast. Maybe, who knows? Maybe you would see Tanya Harding. Stop at
Chances are good.
Yes, stop at the Cresswell Bakery, which is one of my favorite spots on that particular route. Get a couple of nice baked goods, and continue on the trip. Pick up a nice overloaded cinnamon roll for my neighbor who loves cinnamon rolls, and just continue. So we get there. First of all, the place is now we book it through one of their services. I forget. I think she books it through Expedia. I usually use hotels.com. So she books it one night, 2 rooms, $190 or something like that. So we get there, the place is locked up tight.
Nobody home.
Nobody. Can't get in. Ringing the doorbell, knocking on the door.
No night
Finally,
manager.
15 minutes later, somebody comes sauntering out, and the person looks like they are. Think of a show, a TV show that you have that has something to do with the manufacture and distribution of amphetamines.
Well, I'll have to give that some thought.
You know, which listen, I've stayed in places like that before, and the people still know how to take care of their business. They come up, they sign you in, they hand you a couple of key cards or keys, and say, "Okay, stay in that one."
The sleepy night manager.
Yeah. So she goes in. She's laying on the bell. Finally, the guy comes out. A woman comes out, and this woman looks like the centerfold, and you would need several folds to center her. Um,
Lots of
of
staples.
Yeah, of White Trash Incorporated. I mean, she's got a house coat on. It's got holes in it. It's disgusting. And I'm looking at Erin, and I'm saying,
I told you.
no, I never say I told you. I'm not an I told you guy, really. But what I say to her is ask her for some extra clean towels, because I got a funny feeling I'm going to be laying these out on the bed. Anyway, so the woman comes, she gets the keys, got 2 rooms. They're not even next to each other. Um, she, we get the keys. I go in one room, goes in the other, and first of all, the room stinks.
Smoke.
Second of all, I turn the water on to brush my teeth, and the water has a smell to it of which I had never ever smelt before
This
coming
is
out
not
of a
good.
faucet.
It's not good.
It was like, oh, there's something wrong. Something is not right in this place. So I just say to Aaron, I say, listen, let's just, you know, let's get our let's go to sleep real quickly. Let's get up as early as we can and get the fuck out of here. Just don't worry about anyway. But as I do many times, I wanted my morning cup of coffee. So at 7 o'clock or whatever it is, I'm looking for my cup of coffee in the morning. I won't use the water that's in the room.
No.
No, I didn't even use the water that was in the room to brush my teeth. I brushed my teeth and wiped it off with a towel. And I wasn't even that crazy about using the towel, to be honest with you. So I I go down looking for a cup of coffee. The office now at 7:30, at 8 o'clock, at 8:30. It's all locked up.
Nobody home.
Nobody's there. But you know what, Michael? These people are speed freaks. They're not getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning to put a breakfast out. They're not even like calling DoorDash to order a dozen donuts and a big cauldron of
Big box,
coffee,
big box of coffee.
saying, "Okay, so we've fulfilled our
Our
obligation
promise of a continental breakfast.
to provide you with breakfast." So I'm okay with that. I'm like, let's go. Let's get out of here. They take a little more time than I would have liked them to, but I understand it. They take a little time to get ready to get going. Finally, without hesitation or consultation, we're ready to go. And the decor in this room was from the 60s. I mean, they had round mirrors, the rooms were orange, the
With turquoise blue highlights.
yes, yes, the uh, uh, um, bed, which was actually surprisingly comfortable. Though I never got under the covers. And the air conditioner worked. That was the other thing that actually worked real well. It was like a morgue in that place. But then again, I read somewhere where you need to have cold temperatures to make speed. I don't know. I never made it. Um, but the carpet in this place looked as if it were a forensic testing grid. Like if you want to want to become a forensic expert, a DNA expert, you get on this carpet, and if you can identify any 10 things in this carpet, you can immediately apply for a job at the NYPD or the LAPD or any quality
Be a medical examiner.
police department. You're in. If you can, it was disgusting. And when I look back on it, I was just so tired that
That's
I
the
should have
problem.
just
Yeah.
said, "Fuck the $190. I don't care. We'll get it back through the hotels.com or whatever it was that we booked them through. Let's just get out of here." But we didn't. It was my fault. I should have insisted on that, and I didn't. I just wanted, we were so tired by that point. So, I'll write them a bad review, and that was the other thing. Usually, when I book a hotel or we book a hotel, I'll look at the reviews. Because usually a place like that, first review is going to be, bad news. But didn't come out that way. Didn't happen that way. So, I learned a lesson. Nobody's fault. It was, it was the expectation of because something has a great name of the past. But, it was funny because it was still, Howard Johnson is still an associated label or brand of Wyndham, which is a pretty reputable hotel chain.
Yeah, big national chain.
And but yet for some reason nobody from Wyndham had ever seen this place.
No, or
I can
likely to.
guarantee you that not a quality control person, not a janitor, not anybody had not come from Wyndham and looked at this place. It was so bad, Michael, that the thermometer on the sign outside said at 10 o'clock in the morning, 98 degrees.
Which is a little optimistic.
Which wasn't going to happen. And it was just it was a joke. It was the piss poorest excuse for a hotel or motel. I mean, I've stayed in some pretty crappy places in my life. Some dives. And I have just never, ever stayed in anything that was as crappy, as shitty, as strangely enough, the only thing that I didn't really feel bad about is that I didn't I didn't have like a fear for my life. You know,
Because
I didn't.
there was
I
nobody
didn't feel
there,
like
nobody there to harm you.
yeah, it didn't feel like somebody was gonna come busting through the door, or there was gonna be a shootout in the parking lot, or something like that. I never got that.
Was this in a pretty good part of town? Was this in a
It was in the
well-used part of
south
town?
part of Roseburg. It was as you come into town, across the street from a car stereo store. So I don't know if it was a good part of town, but it was like on a main. It was on a old Highway 99, which is the main drag through town.
Hmm.
When you get up into Oregon, those are the. There was a Dutch Brothers not too far away, a couple of gas stations. So it was. It wasn't like in a ghetto or something like that, or in a bad place, or someplace that you'd look at and you'd say, "Well, gee, you should have had the brains to know it." It was off the exit, and there it was. And it was actually a relatively nice place, not but 2 or 3 blocks away. If I would have been drove up another 2 blocks, I would have found a
You had
nicer place.
options. Yeah.
Yeah, that was right on the river. But we was just so dog tired that we just took the first thing that we that could stay at. And again, partially my fault because I didn't want to say to my kid, um, you picked
Let's
this
keep.
place because
Let's
you
keep.
heard Daddy talk about it
Right.
all the time. So I grinned and bared it. But boy, what a zoo. And then on top of it, just to make it interesting, the woman who was cleaning the rooms in the morning
So to speak.
was possibly the skinniest human being I'd ever seen in my life.
That the law allows. You can't be skinnier
Yeah,
than this.
yeah, you couldn't have been more skinnier than this person and still still exist. It looked like it was, the typical gaunt with the face speed freak. So, uh, but I said something to her like, "Oh, how long have you worked here?" And she just like kind of rolled her eyes, like,
Who can say?
yeah, who can, that was exactly it. Who can say how long I've been here? And it almost struck me as,
We're all trapped in this time loop.
yeah, yeah, it almost struck me as one of these human trafficking places. Now, I had just come off an experience not too long ago where I was in a restaurant in Canada, in an Indian restaurant, and the woman who was working at the Indian restaurant was a young woman, and she wouldn't take any money for a tip. She said something to me like, "Oh, they'll only take the tips from us anyway." And so she didn't, and I had the distinct feeling that there was just
Then
not,
something illegal going on.
yeah, something not right going on here. And I actually, well, anyway, it didn't seem right. It didn't seem.
Can't hear you, man.
We have a chance
There you go.
of staying at a quaint little piece of Americana
Wouldn't
called
that be?
Howard Johnson's.
Let me tell you a story about Howard Johnson's kids.
I saw Howard Johnson's in Blazing Saddles. I saw the original Howard Johnson when he had one flavor. Who was played by John Hillerman, I believe, in Blazing Saddles.
Either that or Ward Bond.
Yeah, this was, but that he was that type of guy, that type of actor, and it was don't go. Run,
Okay.
run as if your soul is on fire. Run as if you're editing Eldred Cleaver's book. Run away as fast as you can, because there will be nothing but heartache, pain, and sorrow awaits you at this.
Do not hesitate. Use the quick step. Go.
Don't even wait for the other 27 flavors to come out.
You don't want to
Go.
know what those are anyway. You really
You
don't.
really don't. You really don't want to know.
It'll put you
But
off ice cream for the rest of your life.
it would swear you off ice cream for the rest of your life. It was sad because we thought it would be like, I don't know, like a little tribute to my dad, and being able to to look back at those times. Yeah, my dad, man, he got into a fight every time he went into a Howard Johnson's. It didn't matter where it was. Didn't matter if it was the one on Queens Boulevard. Didn't matter if it was the one in there was another one in Flushing. It didn't matter if it was whichever Howard Johnson's it was. He wound up getting into a fight or an argument or a disagreement.
At the hotel check-in or at the
No, no, no.
restaurant.
We didn't stay in many times in the hotel. Just the restaurant.
Right.
Because they had the freestanding restaurants too, and just
I think the
just
last
in the
time I was in
restaurant.
one of those was Miami.
Yeah, we couldn't go to a Howard
They
Johnson's.
had all you can eat nights, and we would go to those off campus and get ice cream too, of course.
Yeah, and the ice cream was good. Nothing wrong with their ice cream. It was actually good. I loved those scoops that they had. That was kind of triangular with a flat top, and then had the ice cream. I mean, it was really kind of one of the most unusual um, shapes of an ice cream cone. It was not the round ice cream cone. It was this very distinct, squared off, but triangular um, geometrical shape of an ice cream cone. But boy, oh boy, what a scary ass um, scary ass experience.
What's the next town if you had just skipped Roseburg and stayed on 5? What's the next town? How far away?
Uh, boy, oh boy, Springfield maybe.
You gotta lose Roseburg.
Yeah, Springfield, I think.
That makes sense. Yeah, Springfield. I can see
As
the
you head
sign.
as you're heading north, yeah, it's
And what's the town where they have the Shakespeare Festival?
oh,
Ashland.
that's
Ashland.
right below right
Ashland.
below Medford, Ashland,
Ashland. Thank you.
Ashland, and um, it's interesting because that's where we stopped at the Red Lobster, and for some reason I
You got back
wanted
in the
to
car.
press on a little bit more. I just wanted to get further down the road. Uh, because I didn't want to get back at
Yeah.
11 o'clock on Wednesday night. I just wanted to get some more mileage under. And the reality is we should have stayed. Although I will say that my daughter and I also had a bad motel experience in Medford. You see, part of the problem with motels in Oregon is that they are, and I don't know if Oregon does this or how this winds up this way, but many motels, especially ones that have seen better days, cheaper motels, have seen um, the Oregon State Department or whatever it is that's in charge of homeless people puts these people up in these motels. Now I'm
And
not saying
they get run down.
bad, but it's just not a good situation. So you're traveling, you're looking for a place to stay, and all of a sudden you're staying on a floor with, a ton of homeless people, and it's just not, it's not a good situation. And Mike, it's funny because we always have been conditioned since we're little kids. Not my daughter, but to find the cheapest motel. If you're staying in a motel, you got to find the cheapest motel.
Get a sensible price.
Yeah, yeah, which is not a great thing because uh, more than any other sleeping facility, the price of the room correlates to the type of place that it is.
That's right.
In a motel more than in a hotel or hostel, or there's just something about it, and I should know that. I should have known it. I should probably been more aware of what the hell was going on, but I didn't. Um, and so but you know what? The other side of the coin is I wouldn't have had this great. We would have had to talk about Donald Trump for an hour, which would have disgusted me to no end. So
I'm glad we avoided that
yeah, I'd rather talk about speed freaks and motels.
because they're dependable. They're a dependable American product.
Yeah. Then talk about Donald Trump, who of course was on television this morning telling everybody how wonderful the economy is doing and how wonderful everything is all under his control. And
Don't worry about it. I got it.
I got it. Yeah, things are going very, very good, very good. Everything is. 2 weeks I'm going to have this whole thing, this whole Iran thing straightened out.
If the gas price is back where they belong, I paid $5.60 to fill up. So that flies in the face of his judgment. I would say that he's wrong about that. It doesn't seem to be taken care of.
I'd say he's fucking wrong, Michael, about everything. I'd say that this isn't a guy who's right about much of anything. And I know we'll get back into it. This upcoming week, and we'll get back into but it's just such a disaster. Now the one thing that I did notice by being on the road, and I will say this, is that while there are many people who still have their Trump flags up and so on and so forth, they are much less than you have seen in the past years. The hotbeds of Trumpism
Are definitely on
Southern
the
Oregon.
wane.
Excuse me.
Definitely on the wane.
Yeah, the hotbeds of Trumpism, the Southern Oregon, Central Oregon,
Central
Jefferson,
Washington.
California. The stretch of California from Shasta up, and then the stretch of California from uh, um, Redding down.
Right.
All of the Trump signs that you had seen there are no more. They're not up as there's a few of them.
That little experiment is over with.
But the whole thing of people looking at him and saying this is a guy that we hold near and dear to our hearts.
Forget about it.
It's done. It's not happening anymore. Now, who is going to take over? The problem is that the Democrats are up to their usual tricks, which is shooting themselves in the foot.
Well, I don't know who the candidates are going to be. It's going to be very interesting to see, in fact, who the Republicans run, for that matter.
Well, I fear that the Democrats are going to run AOC
For president.
Yeah, that's what that now. Not that I think that AOC would be a horrible choice, but there seems to be a loss of the idea that you can't present um, this democratic socialism idea to people in the country and expect that people, the moderates that you're going to need to win the election, are going to jump on that bandwagon.
I think you're right about that. I'd be surprised if that was their
Yeah,
national candidate.
I think, but there seems to be, and especially in places like San Francisco, where you have a large obviously a large Democratic constituency, but yet they want to be kind of radical over to the left. Radical left politics is not going to win this election, and will
You
scare
need a
people off.
candidate like Mayor Lurie of San Francisco, who the people love.
I don't know about that, Michael. I heard a lot of bad. Now, again, traveling in the KUSF circles, you
Yeah,
do have a lot of people who pound on that kind of
you
extreme
are on
left.
you are on the edge there.
Yeah, yeah. I have to examine it more. See a little bit more about it. But I don't think he's bad. I don't think he's he seems to be have some good ideas.
The
I
Democratic
saw.
Socialist movement is succeeding in places like New York, San Francisco, Los Angeles, in places where where the Democratic voter is educated, white, college degree, has seen the dirt and the disappointment of the Trump years, and wants to change it all at once, and that's probably not the best recipe.
Yeah, and the Democrats are going to have to figure out a way to open up their tent to be able to bring the Hispanic voter in, to be able to bring black voters back to the party, uh,
I've
to
heard
be
that
able.
that's the exact formula that's succeeding for the Democratic candidates in Texas that are succeeding.
I hope
They're,
so.
they're succeeding with the black and the Hispanic vote.
It's what you're going to have to do, and and it's unfortunate because I think two of the best people that the Democrats have, um, one is Jewish and one is gay.
That's
You know,
Mayor Pete and Austin from Georgia, right?
well, Ossoff is a riser, but I'd still say Josh Shapiro from Pennsylvania.
I think Ossoff is a stronger candidate, but I know what you're saying about Pennsylvania.
Yeah, yeah, I think he's a comer, Ossoff. He may not have the bones not quite yet, but we're 2 years away. We got some time.
Right.
Uh,
And
but
I don't see a clear candidate. There's not somebody you can just point at and say this guy has earned his position. It's his turn. That's not the way
right,
it looks.
no, no, there's nobody, and while many people on the Republican side want to point a finger at J.D. Vance and say he's the guy, I don't. On that side, I
No,
don't. I, I hope that
I hope that's who they choose.
I hope that's what they think. Yeah, I hope that they're thinking about running run JD. You know what? Do yourself better and run Hegseth. He'd make a
Run them
great.
together.
Yeah, put them together. Hegseth Vance or Vance Hegseth. You
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
talk about two absolute.
Watch the earth open up and swallow them both.
No, please don't let anything happen to them. I'll get on their Secret Service detail. If these two guys decide to run together,
Protect and
I'll
serve.
send money to their campaign. you know,
Vinny, you got the show tomorrow at 11 o'clock. You're going to be talking about the car you rode it up
yes, we're
into
going to be
California
talking.
in.
I was just gonna shoot this into the into the. I started talking so much, but yes, um, let me quickly shoot this into
The computer.
the um, believe it's been it's been 2 weeks since I've done this. Yes, drive time tomorrow morning. We will talk about um, this Genesis. We will give a complete full review of this Genesis GV80, which I think is one of the best road cars that you could you could come up with.
Is
Uh,
it, is it a successful model? Are they selling well, the
yes,
Genesis?
yeah, I think they're doing. I think in that class of
Luxury
BMW,
SUVs,
Mercedes, uh, Acura, Lexus. I think that
Land Rover.
I think they're a really, really um, solid vehicle, and one that you know again, power, speed, uh, com- comfort, um, technology. I mean, this is a car that covers all of those bases. It's an expensive car. I'm not going to say it's not an expensive car. It's a $92,000 car,
Yeah, you
so
should
it's
have
going
some
to cost
technology.
you.
Yeah.
But if you're, if you want a car that is going to, um, impress your friends, is going to give you a car that is, I don't want to say drive itself, but have all of the things that you would need to make a long trip across the country or a short trip down to the deli. Pleasurable. That car is it. This is what I'm driving this week. This is the Toyota Tundra Capstone. And so this would be uh, Toyota's almost top of the line pickup truck. It's got all the bells and whistles that you would want in a pickup truck, from the iForce V6, which is a much improved engine. They had some problems with them when they came out, but now they seem to have corrected those problems. A very powerful truck. It has electric tailgate. It has four-door, a roomy cabin. It has what I love, a back window that goes down,
Aha.
a power window. It has a tailgate that goes down. It's a stunning little truck. I haven't taken it out on the road, but from what I've read in a lot of the different chat rooms and things like that, it seems to operate very well. Decent on gas. You probably get around 17, 18 miles per gallon with this V6. And that iForce Max engine, as I said, they have, it seems, figured out some of the problems with this engine and improved it. Now,
It's not
the
like
thing,
Toyota to put a mistake on the market like that.
right? No, it was way out of character for Toyota to put this car out there. They probably should have waited a year before they put it out there, but they wanted to rush the car to market because they felt like they were slipping in pickup sales. But to me, it's a fine car, Michael. And again, I just think that it's one of these vehicles that you get into this thing, you're sitting up high. It's an expensive truck. I'm not going to say it's not. This is an $84,000 pickup truck. So it's not everybody that's going to drive, but if you're a person who drives their fifth wheel across country, or to the national parks, and you take your family with you and you do all of that kind of stuff, this is a vehicle that definitely bears looking at if you're in the market for that kind of vehicle. The F 150 is the standard, it still is. Chevy is fallen so far behind in this. The Ram is number two from Dodge, or from Ram, actually. It's not from Dodge anymore. But this Toyota slips in there at a very tight number three.
And is that a
Um, uh,
black color or is that a deep blue?
no, this is a midnight blue metal flake.
There you
It's,
go.
if you can see it up close, it's a really stunning midnight blue, and it really uh, catches the eye when you're looking at it. It's got a nice metal flake in it that is a little larger than maybe the regular metal flake you're used to, but it catches your eye. And I think it's a very nice color. My favorite color in this truck is orange. I just think the orange one. I saw one on the road when I was driving back up here, and I think it's a beautiful color. And this car at night, this truck at night, I should say, really looks stunning. It's it's and the reason I like the orange, Michael, is because there's something about being able to see a pickup truck at night.
But
I don't
yeah,
know what it is,
be visible.
but I want the visibility at night, you know?
Vinny, let's get together Monday, shall we?
Yes, let's do this. I hope you enjoyed the Howard Johnson story and again, Roseburg, Oregon. If you're going through back and forth, please don't.
Keep going, keep going.
Do not. Well, stop somewhere else in Roseburg. There's plenty of hotels in Roseburg. I'm sure that you will find a place where people will be happy to take care of you, not weird you out about it, and you won't feel like you're. Who is that guy? Walter.
Walter Mitty.
No, the show that was on. The speed. The guy that was the school teacher that was mixing up the speed.
Breaking Bad.
Yeah, Breaking Bad. Thank you. You won't feel like you're in the middle of a Breaking Bad episode, like this place.
Those bathtubs, they got to be cleaner than these in Roseville for
I'm
him to do
telling
his
you,
business.
man. You want to? Yeah. I mean, it was just. Yeah. You gotta do better there, Wyndham. You better send somebody to look at this place.
Send the whole crew. You got some work to do.
Knock it down and build a Hilton.
Do yourself a favor. Knock it
Mikey,
down.
have a good weekend. Everybody, I will see you tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock for drive time.
Have a good show, Vin. I'll see you
Thanks,
Monday.
Michael. Good to see you again, man. I missed you, pal.
Thanks for going to San Francisco and taking care of the reunion. I needed that.
There you go, man. I will. I'll see you on Monday if the Lord's will and the creek don't rise. Have a good one, Michael.
You have one too. See ya.
Peace,
Go Mets.
love, and Manischewitz, man. Have a good time out there this weekend. Be safe.
Later on. Bye, Vin.
All right, later. Bye-bye.